Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and as always a huge thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel, the Bushcraft Padawan. As you can see, you join me on a wet, windy, drizzly, murky day towards the end of October here in the UK 2017. It's been raining on and off for the best part of a week. I would say that it has rained significantly every day for the past week or so. And it was only last weekend that we had a storm come through the south of England, rather boringly called Storm Brian. Brought a lot of heavy rain, brought a lot of wind. I only live a mile from the coast, so it brought a lot of wind in from that direction, a lot of driving rain. And clearly it's driven a lot of moisture and water into the woods. And as you can probably still see, everything around me is still wet. The ground is sodden. The barks, the leaves, everything is sodden. So I thought to myself, this would be a good opportunity to challenge myself to get out and to practice starting a fire using only the materials that I'm finding, hopefully only the materials that I'm finding in the woods, to get a fire going and to boil a metal mug worth of water to enable me to get a brew. And that's what I'm going to do in the course of this video. This video is not meant to be a tutorial on how to start fires using, wet weather material. It may invariably become that to some people, but it's not meant to be a breakdown of each stage. It's just meant to be a narrative and a moment in time of me attempting to use many of the skills that I've learned online, face-to-face, through experience. It's not meant to be a tutorial. There are lots of brilliant videos out there, and you probably know where to find them as well as I do. Lots of brilliant videos out there to help you focus in on the specifics. This is supposed to be an overview. I am going to try and use only the materials that I find in the woods. I do have with me some birch bark that I constantly keep in my mat pocket. I do have with me a little piece of fat wood that I keep in my fire tin, but I am desperately going to try not to use those and to only use the materials that I can find here today. The only exception being the ferro rod that I have with me and the knife that I have to strike that ferro rod. I hope they are the only things that I need to use. So without further ado, why don't we get cracking? I found myself the best sheltered place that I can in this woodland. Overhanging tree, lots of leaf cover and ivy cover on the tree, quite a few trees growing close together, so it's given me something of a canopy. It's not great, don't get me wrong, the floor is still wet, but it is not as wet as elsewhere in this woodland, so it's a start. I'm also going to rig up a very simple, very rudimentary tarp to give me a little bit of overhead cover should the heavens open. It's not perfect. If I was to be using this tarp for sleeping in or any period of time, I would fashion it, but my priority at the moment is getting this fire started, so I want to get this tarp up to give me a bit of protection for doing that. Like I said, it ain't pretty, it ain't winning any awards, and it's probably not going to stay around for long if we really get a gust of wind, but for now it's given me a dry base to work under, and even while I was doing that, I felt moisture hitting my head, so I think it was wise to take those few minutes to get that set up, to give me a fighting chance of getting this fire started, and then clearly I can tidy this up afterwards. So I've discovered this downed tree behind me. I think it used to be a Scots pine. There are lots of twin needles on the ground around it. The whole tree is gone. I've actually followed the fallen tree back to its base and its main trunk. There is nothing left alive on this tree. There's no other branch or limb that I could identify it from. So it used to be a pine of some description. I think it was a Scots pine. I've got in the back of my head that Scots pine has resin, it has tar, it's a hardy species. I'm hoping to find some fat wood in there. I'm hoping to find some nice straight sections to split down and create feather sticks from. I'm also hoping that if I can get that inner dry, hopefully dry core of wood going, it will drive off the moisture and allow me to get some of the smaller twigs and larger limbs that you see behind me going into a fire to enable me to meet this challenge. The wind's starting to pick up, as you hear, so I'm going to get on with starting to process this tree down. Well, here I am, as I hoped I would be. I have a fire going in wet weather. I've got a mug of water on the boil. Yeah, that's coming along nicely. So how did I find it? Well, the eagle-eyed of you would have spotted that I cheated. I used some silver birch bark, and there are no silver birch trees in this woodland. I brought it in with me in my pocket. I always keep some in my pocket, so was I cheating? Well, I don't know. I'll let you be the judge. I think I was. I think I cheated because I said I didn't want to use that, and I ended up using that. The pine tree that I processed, I looked at all of the usual areas where you would find fat wood having built up, resinous wood having built up, and there was none. I suspect that tree has been gone for so long that there just isn't any left. I looked in all the usual places, at the junctions where the main limb joins the branches and the twigs and so on. Give me a second. And there just wasn't any. So I tried processing down what looked like fat wood. It didn't smell like it and it didn't scrape like it, so to be honest, I don't think it was. Took a bit of silver birch bark out of the bucket, feathered it into some dust, or scraped into some dust, dropped a spark on it, and as you saw in the video, off it went. And as you can see here, a few minutes later, not only am I being blinded by smoke, but I have got a fire on the go. So an important lesson for me there on two fronts, I think. One is always carry something that can take a spark to a sustainable flame. And I carry a fire kit with me. I'm going to make another video in the future about what I carry in there. I also carry some on my body as well. One, so that it's on my body, it's in my trousers, and two, to help it stay dry because of my body heat going through the fabric of my clothes. So I always carry something to it, but I really wanted today to be about not using anything that I brought in with me, only to use wild process. So to that end, boo, I think I cheated a little bit, but needs must, I suppose. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this video. I doubt you've learnt anything from it, because as I've said, it wasn't meant to be a tutorial video, it was just meant to be a fly on the wall, look at Craig trying to get a fire going in wet weather. Hopefully you've had a laugh along the way at my misfortunes. I wish you could join me here for a hot chocolate in just a few minutes time, but alas not. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you think there's someone in your network that would benefit from this or having a laugh at this, then feel free to give it a thumbs up and share it with those people, those friends. And finally, if you're not yet a subscriber of my channel, please do click on that subscribe button. You'll receive regular updates. If you click on the little bell icon, you'll receive an automatic update whenever I upload future videos, and you won't miss anything out from me in the future. Just before we close off, my channel's been running for about 10 months now, and I've been lucky enough to be able to release a video at least once a week, every week, since the beginning of January 2017. Usually it's been one a week. Every now and then I've managed to get 2 in a week. So I'm hoping to keep this momentum up, but it's people like you that spur me on to do this. It's seeing those subscribers grow, it's seeing those comments grow, it's seeing those likes grow. So if you could take a few minutes at the end of this to like, share, subscribe, comment, it'd be really appreciated, and it'll help to guarantee that I keep on pushing these videos out for you on a weekly basis. Thanks for watching, and take care.